interior design aesthetics. Their history, they loved the drama back then. Look at that glimmer! Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Carmiel Marceline and I'm so happy that you're here. If you're new, welcome. I love talking about plants. And in today's video, I am combining my passion for interior design and plants together. Yes, I'm going to share 5 interior design aesthetics, talk about their history, some key characteristics, and ultimately what plants I would recommend to you based on them. So get ready because I am talking about plants of all shapes and colors. Design aesthetic number 1, Gothic. From the Middle Ages, aka the 12th century, and was heavily influenced by Christian cathedrals. It also symbolized the triumph of the Catholic Church over paganism in Europe. Think of the Notre Dame in Paris. And this style also lasted 4 centuries. Yes, 400 years. Talk about long lasting. And it actually was revived by the Victorians in the 19th century. Key characteristics of the Gothic design aesthetic include high pointed arches, stained glass windows, intricate carving and detailing, exposed wooden beams and ceilings, and lastly, dark and rich colors like black, burgundy, ruby, purple, and of course, metallic finishes. If you vibe with the Gothic design aesthetic, you're gonna want these 3 plants. The first one is an Alocasia caprea. This is a beautiful elephant ear plant. Leaves can grow up to 26 inches long. It's got a beautiful coppery finish that makes it super unique. And the back of the leaves are this beautiful purple color. The second plant that I'd recommend for you is called the ZZ Raven. It's very similar. I'm gonna grab it right now. It's very similar to your typical ZZ plant, but the difference is that these leaves are a dark green, almost black. Like just oof, woof. And the last plant I'd recommend for you is a Scindapsus trubii dark form. I just dropped soil there. But you can see that it's a very dark green. In certain areas or angles of light, it looks almost black. Talk about moody, right? Design aesthetic number 2, farmhouse. Born out of practicality in Europe during the 17th century. And as I'm sure you may have guessed, these truly were farm homes. People needed a place to live, especially after a hard day's work out on the farm. And over the next couple of centuries, this style migrated all the way over to the United States during colonialism. And what's interesting is many farm homes leverage wood because it was so abundant and cheap, and it didn't require the construction knowledge to leverage it. If you think about modern farmhouse design, I'm sure you know about Miss Joanna Gaines from Fixer Upper and Magnolia. She popularized this aesthetic 10 years ago, and it's something extremely prevalent today. Key elements of the farmhouse design aesthetic include shiplapping, reclaimed wood, a mixture of salvaged vintage finds, wrought iron accents, large comfy furniture, and lastly, natural looking colors. Everything from white, creams, and earth accents. Anything neutral. If you vibe with the farmhouse design aesthetic, you're not gonna want plants that are overwhelming, extremely bold. You want something that's going to be neutral and complement the space, right? It's meant to create a calming atmosphere. As a result, I'd recommend these 3 plants. 1, ferns, 2, spider plants, and lastly, 3, succulents. Design aesthetic number 3, Art Deco. From the Roaring 20s, and it was a great commentary about what was happening during that time period. This was after the Industrial Revolution, so a lot of modern technology helped define this style. There was a mixture between different tones and textures, all to create a dramatic effect, because they loved the drama back then. And the best modern representation of this style is, one, if you go to Miami, and two, the Chrysler Building here in New York City. The Chrysler Building has 7 terraces that fan out from the crown of the building. Unfortunately, Art Deco as an aesthetic and design style was short-lived because of the Great Depression and World War II. Key characteristics of the Art Deco design style include symmetry, bold geometric shapes and patterns, intricate detailing, exotic accessories like plants, animals, other motifs, and lastly, rich colors like jewel tones and metallic finishes such as gold, chrome, and copper. If you vibe with the Art Deco design aesthetic, there are 3 plants I would recommend for you. The first one is a rubber plant tree because of the amazing pattern of its leaves. It's very big and bold. It comes in a burgundy color, and it's just absolutely breathtaking and brings on the drama. The second one I would recommend for you is pampas grass. Warranted, this is fake, but nothing says wild like feathers, right? And the last one I would recommend for you is my Scindapsus Silver Hero, just because it's got a beautiful shimmer all over the leaf that is meant to stand out. Look at that glimmer! So dramatic! She's one of my favorites. Design aesthetic number 4, Scandinavian. Movement in the 1950s by 5 Nordic countries: Denmark, Finland, Norway, Iceland, and Sweden. And it was meant to pay homage to the weather and the climate there. They have harsh, cold winters, and this style really prioritizes warmth and maximizes light. Key characteristics of the Scandinavian design aesthetic include utility over decoration, white walls, wooden floors, natural textures like stone and wood, and lastly, neutral colors. If you vibe with the Scandinavian design aesthetic, here are 3 plants I'd recommend for you. And mind you, all of these plants are meant to be minimalistic, simple, not bold or dynamic like any of the plants I shared with you in the previous section on Art Deco. So the first one is an olive tree. The second one are air plants. And the last one is, oh, let me grab her, string of hearts. Just given how simple of a design look this is, the way it vines, and the neutral color of the leaves. Design aesthetic number 5, mid-century modern. From the mid-20th century and reflected the world at the time. It was a big contrast to the Art Deco design period with ornate designs. Mid-century modern was very focused on functional pieces made of teak wood that were durable, that were simple in their design, but also had sleek and curved shapes and lines. In current times, if you think about the Eames chair, that is a great representation of the mid-century modern design style. And it's something that is extremely prevalent today, especially when you think about retailers such as West Elm and Crate & Barrel. Key characteristics of the mid-century modern design aesthetic include functionality over any frills, simplicity with clean, beautiful lines, geometric shapes that have sleek curves and angles, wood such as teak, rosewood, and oak, and lastly, very simple colors, but bold ones to accent and provide that pop of color. If you vibe with the mid-century modern design aesthetic, here are the 3 plants that I'd recommend for you. The first one is a Pilea peperomites. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's a beautiful pilea that have these beautiful stems, but a round leaf at the tips. And it looks like a head of hair, essentially, when you move it around, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got a beautiful, bold shape that's meant to be an awesome accent. The second one is a snake plant, which I'm going to show you mine. Definitely a typical plant you'll see displayed in any furniture catalog. And then the last one is a fiddle leaf fig, which I'm a little nervous to grab because she is huge. And she's in a self-watering planter, so there's water in here. I hope I do not spill. But this is my fiddle leaf fig. It's definitely got these beautiful leaf shapes, and it's definitely a statement piece that will complement any wood tones in your home. There you have it. Those are 5 design aesthetics and styles and what plants I would recommend for you. Did you learn something new? Did you have a favorite? Let me know down below. I'd love to know. This video was so fun to make. I learned so much about all the different design styles, and what was most fascinating to me was how each of these design styles reflected the economic, political, technological, socioeconomic climate of that generation. So it was a great history lesson for me, or history reminder for me. Lastly, if you want to learn more about any of the design styles that I mentioned today, check out my video description because I will link the different sources that I used. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell notification so you know every single time I post every Sunday. And with that, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for spending it with me, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!